I'm Lewis Morals, and this is a Market Bull Update. RadioShack dropped a deuce this past week, declaring bankruptcy for the second time in as many years. Ironically, the company known mostly for selling batteries was unable to keep going and going and going. The Chapter 11 filing came after revenue fell short of expectations in mobile commissions, as their partnership with Sprint turned out to be more of a crawl. The company has also been hurt by competition from Amazon and other online retailers. With the internet already responsible for the destruction of American democracy and common decency, it figures that RadioShack would be its next victim. A bronze statue of a girl with her hands on her hips, defiantly staring down the Wall Street Bull, was recently installed by financial firm State Street Advisors. A spokesperson for the company said that the statue is meant to be symbolic of women in the financial industry, in that they'll be treated like a little girl, have no mobility, and are facing male bull that's been in place for years and isn't going anywhere. While most Americans seem to feel like the economy hasn't been working for them, the stock market's on the second longest win streak in history, with this past week marking the 8th anniversary of the start of the current bull market. The longest bull market in history occurred during the dot-com boom of the 90s, when middle-class mom-and-pop investors with no financial acumen poured their life savings into risky tech stocks just in time for the bubble to burst and the market to come crashing down. The current stock market run has been supported in part by an accommodative monetary policy and quantitative easing by the Fed, and given that those same investors have no clue what any of that means, they seem primed to make the same mistakes again. An industry group representing U.S. aluminum suppliers has filed a complaint accusing Chinese producers of selling at unfairly low prices, to which the Chinese replied, "Curses, foiled again!" The group claims that improper subsidies from the Chinese government allows Chinese producers to sell at artificially low prices internationally, which is known as dumping, and is hoping that the U.S. will enact anti-dumping duties, which is not an oxymoron. Both domestic and international manufacturers are hoping to capitalize on the increased demand for aluminum, driven by alt-right conspiracy theorists who need it to make their tinfoil hats. Volkswagen pled guilty in U.S. courts on Friday to charges that it equipped cars with software made to cheat emissions tests, the automotive equivalent of blaming a fart on the dog. A spokesperson for the company says that they regret not having waited a few years to implement the software, given that the Trump administration has now officially changed the definition of environmental protection to mean the thing you cover yourself with when fucking the environment. After the microbus gave VW a reputation as the car maker of choice for flower power hippies in the 1960s, we postulate the emission scandal could actually have been a PR move deliberately aimed at courting a more conservative customer base. While the guilty plea should put the issue to rest in the United States, VW is braced for a prolonged legal battle in Europe, where just like with pop culture, they always seem to be several years behind America. This has been a Market Bull Update. I'm your host, Lewis Morals, reminding you, you are what you earn.